Greetings and welcome, travelers. Coming up, the thrilling continuation of our adventure. We last left our party in the clutches of a dreaded basilisk. For those of you who already subscribe or have watched the video below, you probably already know how that little encounter went down. But for the rest of you, spoiler alert, the basilisk did not slay the party. Me no, good thing too. Otherwise, maybe not have show tonight. But me digress. Ahem. Mr. Dungeon Master, please, take it from here.
Ah, indeed. Surviving the encounter with the basilisk, the party now stands before its remains. The storm escalates outside, causing a dampened clangor to reverberate throughout the den. Although intensifying, the rain minimally penetrates into the burrow through the many hanging roots.
Did you all hear that?
You hear what?
It sounded like it came from deeper within the burrow. You all stay here while I check it out.
Indeed. Be careful.
Aelia begins to scout further ahead while the rest of the party stays behind and continues to search the chamber with the statues in the basilisk nest. As Aelia follows the tunnel back to where it first branched off, she realizes the opposite path connects to the westernmost burrow entrance. Looking to her left, she can see the entryway they didn't take, nearly 30 meters away. The rain is falling at a more steady pace than when they first entered the burrow, and the daylight is diminishing. This other path to her right still contains several humanoid footprints, spaced out somewhat sporadically.
Can I tell which direction the footprints face?
Technically in all directions, though several of the tracks face into the burrow as the trail curves and descends farther into the ground.
Okay, I follow cautiously.
After the path completes the turn, you realize it dead ends in another oblong-shaped cavern. Aelia decides to go back and gather the rest of the party before exploring the second chamber. The group then follows her as she leads them down below. This cavern is slightly smaller than the one above containing the statues. There is a shallow rectangular-shaped hole in the center of the chamber, surrounded by many footprints and a broken shovel. It looks as if something had been recently excavated. There are also deep grooves and indentations throughout, indicating something heavy was likely dragged in and out of here. Small beams of light can be seen shining into the far side of the chamber, which has a copious amount of muddy water running down it. Clem and Elton investigate the far wall to reveal it slants upwards into a tapering path that ends at a 2-foot-wide hole about 15 feet up. This cavity is allowing the rain and small amount of light to enter, though the pathway is too steep, the mud too slippery, and the opening above too narrow for any of the party members to attempt to climb up and out. Orson and Aelia search the empty grave-sized hole. The earth here is still soft and dry, indicating it was likely dug very recently.
Hold on, guys. Wait.
Aelia recalls the sound she heard echoing from within the tunnels earlier, and wonders if they could have missed something, so the party draws arms and quickly runs back towards the entrance. While following the opposite path this time, they see more water has collected in the few footprints and large indents in the tunnel, similar to the ones seen in the chamber below. It is now evident that something heavy was dug up and then dragged in this direction, most likely while they dealt with the basilisk moments ago. The group reaches the outside of the burrow to find the tide is rising and the rain still falling at a steady pace. A stagnant fog loosely blankets the beach, and less than an hour of daylight remains. Within a few minutes, the party notices a new grouping of footprints in the sand, and proceeds to follow them back towards the east. The silhouettes of a half-dozen humanoid-sized figures are finally revealed in the distance. It looks like 4 figures in the rear are hoisting up a large rectangular box or footlocker, while maybe 2 more figures lead. Initially, the party follows from afar, but are unable to get a good look at this other group. The combination of rain and fog do make it easier for them to avoid detection, so they close the distance considerably. while pursuing over the next 10 minutes. The group carrying the box comes to a halt as the one in the lead speaks an indistinguishable command. The two in the back let go of the large wooden box, causing its back end to fall and create a large indent where it lands. After yelling back a few words, he examines a rolled parchment under his cloak, but he is obviously struggling due to the rain. He grumbles and gripes, but the wind makes his speech indiscernible. Now, standing less than 90 feet behind them, the party cautiously observes as the storm begins to ease up. The moon's light peeks through a lonesome patch of cloudless sky and further illuminates the beach. At last, this starts to give the party a better look at these individuals, but unfortunately, also makes them realize they have lost their cover and are now standing somewhat out in the open. The two in the back stand still with their arms hanging by their sides, looking straight ahead. They are wearing tattered commoner clothing, completely saturated and dripping wet. The two in the middle still hold up the front half of the box on their shoulders, and it is now apparent that these two are both wearing heavily soiled and bloodied guard uniforms. With the wind subsiding, the gripes from the man up front are becoming more distinguishable.
Blast it. Where was the meeting place?
The one complaining looks like a short human male, wearing a dark hooded cloak which obscures his face from this point of view. He looks at his scroll in the moonlight a bit more, then wads up the soggy paper and stuffs it into his cloak. He then points to the north.
Hey, Brainless. Over there. Tell me which way.
The other individual by his side runs over to an elevated beach berm about 30 feet away to the north. This humanoid looks unusually slender, with lanky arms that dangle to its sides as it runs up the hill. The moonlight seems to reflect off its pale white bony limbs and the crown of its head. It reaches the top of the hill and turns towards the party. As the creature makes eye contact, its jaw drops open, revealing a face devoid of any flesh or muscle tissue, just a single eye dangling in the socket. The skeleton charges the party, alerting its master of their presence.
Ooh, get them.
The others drop the wooden crate and turn towards the party members, revealing their gruesome undead appearance. The 4 zombies who were carrying the recently excavated box now begin to lurch towards the party. Roll initiative.
Hey there, travelers. Still new to the show? Well, that's okay. Just click that like button, subscribe to our page, and support us on Patreon to unlock all the amazing perks. What's that, Jacques? That's right. For less than the cost of a cup of coffee, you too can help fund the continuing adventures in Cretinea. In fact, there's really no reason not to. And now a word from our sponsors.
Yeah, beautifully balanced, brightly sweet, and subtly lactic. Savor the rich, syrupy, smooth mouthfeel, resonant with integrated notes of red currant and dark chocolate. Yeah. Now that's a coffee I could really cut my teeth on. Stop in and try a cup at Big Red's coffee shop, next to Big Red's hookah lounge. Yeah. Now that's smooth.
It's me, Captain Jimmy. And where's the hottest spot to get all the slipper lobsters till you drop?
Visit Jimmy's Lobster Shack!
That's right. Where libations be fresh and the crustaceans be fresher. Come bring the family, 'cause on Tuesdays kids eat free. Try the harbor fries with dragon sauce, or the salmon salad with quip tips. And remember, they're fresher here, or my name's not Fishy Jimmy.
Congratulations! The 4 adventurers stand victorious, having dispatched the undead on the beach. However, their magic-wielding necromantic master was able to escape into the darkness. Alia rushes ahead and searches for any tracks left behind, but the limited light and falling rain makes it too difficult to discern. as the weather begins to intensify, rain beating down on their already dripping wet hair, clothes, and armor. They look ahead towards the excavated wooden footlocker, abandoned by the fleeing mage. Elton thoroughly checks the undead's motionless remains, assuring they have indeed been defeated, while Clem uses his crowbar to muscle open the coffin-sized crate. Orson leans in with Clem as they peer inside the box.
Oh, well, what do we have here?
To be honest, I was expecting another skeleton.
You're not disappointed now, are you, Orson?
Huh? What did you find?
Is it treasure?
It appears to be a statue, only missing a head.
Wait,
Let me see.
Inside, the party finds 2 muddy shovels, a torn leather backpack, and a life-size statue of a headless human. The statue appears to be of a kneeling woman, wearing commoner robes and with her hands bound behind her. The missing head appears to have been cleanly severed or broken off.
Can we remove the statue to inspect it further?
I want to search the backpack. Is it empty?
The statue is solid stone and easily weighs upwards of 800 pounds. You estimate that it can be moved, but not alone or without great difficulty. If the plan is to either remove the statue from the crate or to transport it while still inside, you will likely all have to work together. But then again, you just saw 4 zombies carrying it earlier, so how hard could it be? As far as the backpack, it looks heavily worn with only 1 strap intact. Inside, you find some half-eaten rations and a crumpled piece of parchment. After smoothing out the paper, it looks to be a map similar to the one you all used to locate the burrow of statues, although it has an additional place marked on it that your map did not. A spot you estimate is approximately 1 mile north of your current location, and further into the woodland over the hill. The party recalls that earlier, while leaving Professor Hoffenrichter's hovel and tracing the hillside towards the burrow, they saw a separate dirt road leading into a forest in that general direction. They decide it may be wise to wait out the rain and possibly hide the crate containing the statue prior to looking for this new location in the woods to the north. Using ropes tied around the box, they drag the statue back to the dilapidated hovel and begin to stash it inside.
Over here, we can cover it with some of this debris.
There, how is that? Do we think that is good enough?
Yeah, it should be fine. This way we can follow that other map and not be slowed down.
And depending on what we find, we'll likely want to report this to the authorities.
Are we sure we even want to tell anybody? You know, someone went to an awful lot of trouble to keep that statue's location a secret.
Either way, I think we need a break, especially after everything we've been through. Let's rest for an hour or so, then we'll decide what to do.
Indeed, and hopefully we'll be able to catch up with that mage that escaped. Huh. If you want my best guess, I'm thinking his goal was to dig up the statue and take it to the nearby woods for some reason.
Actually, since I don't need a short rest, is there enough time for me to go back and investigate those undead bodies?
Oh boy, Orson playing with dead things again.
Not just that, but I recall 2 of them looking fresher, less decomposed than the others. Maybe I can learn who they were, how they died.
Sure, you can do that. Without having to help drag the box this trip, Orson is able to make excellent time. He follows the tracks and grooves still left in the sand in order to relocate the area where you all fought. As you noticed before, 2 of the zombies looked very decomposed, like they had died long ago before being reanimated. The other 2 are wearing bloodied royal courier uniforms and look like they were killed very recently. One has a slashed throat, and the other has multiple stab wounds in the abdomen, not counting any further damage sustained during the encounter with you all. When looking for the skeleton's remains, you find nothing. No skull, no fragments, nor shards of bone. Finally, you think of checking the pockets of the 2 slain couriers and find an official note from the city of Crux to be delivered to the Simonian Guard. It appears to be a plea for aid, saying the city has been under siege by orcs, and the note is dated 5 days ago.
Oh crap. This note never reached them. Better get it back.
And with that, Orson returns to the hovel and informs the party of what he found. We will now pause our session, but only briefly, while our players think about how they wish to proceed. Will they follow the new map into the woodlands, and will they locate the escaped mage? Will they learn the significance behind the headless statue, or the reason for Hoffenrichter's stone-cold predicament?
Oh yeah, I forgot we left him back there, didn't we?
Or will they have to abandon these personal quests in order to warn Simonia of the recent attack on the city of Crux? Find out when we return on Dungeons and Vagabonds.
School has ended, and the Simonian youth hit the streets, many seeking adventure and engaging in celebratory gatherings. Find the best eats and treats when looking to save coin this winter, predictions for the upcoming Royal Games, and 7 ways to descale your broadsword. Tonight on Nights with Newman, your trusted source for news.
Look fine, work fine, love fine, be fine. Look fine, work fine, love fine, be fine. Look.
There's a new Ferals in Simonia, and they've got everything that Raymond is famous for, like 20 to 60% off our competitors' regular prices on sportswear, menswear, boys and girls wear, and accessories, family footwear, plus giftware, prophylactics, and home fashions. Come see the new location in Simonia. Open now.
Raymond Ferals is Ravens. Raymond Ferals, no doubt.
Get in or get out, get in or get out.
Raymond Ferals, fine legends and gay apparel is Raymond. Raymond Ferals, no doubt.
Get in or get out, get in or
Get out! Get out! Get out!
And now back to D&V.
Well, all right, team. How do we want to proceed? I'm leaning towards heading back to town and delivering the note to the authorities. The citizens of Crux could be in trouble. And as far as the headless statue, the missing necromancer, and the recovered map, well, I'm willing to debate.
Well, sir, my sympathy to the folk in Crux, but I'm thinking whoever is after this statue is still out there. And if they were gonna meet up with some friends in the woods and all, well...
Actually, Clem is right. In fact, if that mage had partners, they could be coming back to recover the statue.
And put an end to us for interrupting them, if you catch my meaning. Maybe even with more of them pesky undead.
Fine, we must hurry then. And this note must get to Simonia as soon as possible.
Oh, of course. We'll just go check out that area in the woods, and if it gets too dangerous, we'll fall back here. Remember, the escort said they patrol these roads daily. All we'd have to do is make it till morning and meet up with the first patrol when they arrive. And then tell them as much or as little as needed.
Well, sounds fair enough.
Sounds good to us.
Right. So we make sure the crate with the statue is concealed inside the hovel best we can, and then follow the map. What is the weather now, and how much time until sunrise?
After finishing your short rest, you estimate it is about midnight, and the rainfall has decreased to a slow drizzle.
Excellent! Let's get moving, team!
In the cover of night, you travel back westward, this time following the dirt road that leads towards the hill and into the wooded area. Within an hour, you reach the tree line. The trees, cherry, black oak, and ash are interspersed widely enough that moonlight is able to pass through the thinning clouds and illuminate the dirt path into the forest. The soft thrumming and chirping of the local fauna surrounds you as you prepare to enter.
Great, because I was gonna say, let's be stealthy. No torches or lanterns. And Elton, stay at least 30 feet behind us initially due to your clanging armor.
Indeed.
Alia, I need you to make a survival navigation check in order to find the location depicted on the crudely drawn map. Then, You'll need to roll a stealth check, but at disadvantage, since you're traveling with a couple companions who might be slightly less agile.
All right. An 18 for survival and, with disadvantage, a 14 stealth after modifiers.
Although it doesn't depict any major landmarks, you think you've determined the approximate distance of the location on the map to be another hour away. Sure enough, after following the trail through the woods for about another hour, the path veers off closer to the hillside to the west. It then eventually dead ends at a clearing about 10 meters wide. Although only a few shrubs are growing in the clearing, there is an abundance of weeds and flowers of nearly every color, covering much of the ground.
Alright, let's investigate further. Jacques and I will carefully look around to make sure we are alone, and then take a closer look at the flowers.
Go ahead and roll a perception check first, followed by a nature check at advantage since Jacques is helping.
Ew, perception is a 19, but nature rolls were a 10 and a nat 1.
After looking around for a few moments, Jacques informs you that the area is clear of undead, but he is a little frightened by an owl nesting nearby. You also feel confident that the area is devoid of immediate threats, so you begin to examine the flowers. Although you are no expert in this area, you assume that none of the flowers growing here are poisonous or hold any magical properties. But they are very colorful and fragrant. Seems like a nice area for a picnic.
Too bad I just ate. Maybe another time.
So is it clear? Can I come up there and join the rest of you yet?
Elton, please roll a perception check.
Ha! Dirty 20!
From your current location, you think you see another path outside the clearing. With only a few dozen trees separating the two trails, this less traveled path leads up the hillside to the west. Upon further inspection, you see distinct grooves in the ground, carriage tracks leading up the trail, as if cargo was once stored or offloaded here.
Hey everyone, I think I've found something.
If there was a wagon here recently, maybe it was the mage's partner or someone he was delivering the statue to.
Well, sounds like we're on the move again.
Okay, if climbing the hill and following the wagon tracks, someone give me a survival tracking check with advantage since you're all helping.
Okay. Got a 17.
You all follow the tracks with ease. They ascend the hill and connect with another dirt road running north to south across the hilly landscape. The tracks you are following indicate the wagon initially came from the south in the direction of the Basilisk Burrow, then turning east, driving down the path leading to the clearing at the base of the hill. Next, it looks like the wagon went the opposite way, traveling north after reascending the hillside, and all likely within the last couple of hours.
Well, guessing we just missed him, y'all. That mage probably came a run back here and left with whoever was driving the wagon. Question is, do we follow the road north trying to catch up, or just head back the way we came now?
We can't turn back now. We've come too far.
I'm afraid we may not be able to catch up now, assuming that they have horses and we do not. I say we head back to the hovel and wait for the first guard we see.
Fine. But I think we eventually need to go back to the burrow for Hoffenrichter and the other statues.
Yeah, but let's not mention nothing to the guards except we fought some undead on the beach and maybe that they were carrying that heavy box. Should give us another day or so to either investigate the burrow or restore old Hoffenrichter.
Or maybe lay a trap in case those statue thieves come back.
Good idea. Plus we killed that basilisk down there, and I'm still not so sure that wasn't illegal.
Right. And next time we'll bring some horses, and maybe a wagon of our own if we plan on transporting more statues.
The party returns the way they came. The rain has ceased, many of the clouds have dispersed, and they arrive at the hovel just as the sun is starting to rise. As they approach from the front of the dwelling, they realize it has been disturbed, the front door completely broken off the hinges and laying in the sand. Rushing inside, the party realizes someone has been here since they left, and the crate containing the statue is missing. Tracks are present, indicating the crate was dragged out and loaded into a wheeled wagon or carriage, which was then driven eastward, back towards Simonia.
Son of a biscuit.
Are your kids tired of the same old breakfast cereals? Then try new Biscuit and Gravy-O's, the only cereal with patented sausage gravy powder, turning your milk into thick, instant gravy in which to submerge your buttery biscuit morsels. Biscuit and Gravy-O's, product by Sausage Bros.
And now back to D&V.
Son of a biscuit. I knew we should have just stayed here.
Wait a minute, let's think this through. If the wagon is headed towards Simonia on the main road, there will be witnesses. First patrols of the day are likely now starting. It may not be too late.
Indeed, with haste. Follow those wagon tracks.
The party dashes up the road, following the deep grooves in the dirt, obviously indicative of tracks from a wheeled vehicle carrying a heavy load. The trail leads the party into the outer slums of Simonia. Being less familiar with this area of town, and due to the heavily traveled roads with an increasing number of tracks heading in all directions, the party eventually loses the wagon's trail.
No worries. We can continue our search or return to the burrow later. For now, we must deliver this note from the slain couriers.
As the morning sun fully breaks the horizon, you pass the Oak Umbra Lodge and near the west gate leading to the inner city. There are droves of people coming and going for the day, and you must negotiate a crowd of hundreds in order to get yourselves close to the guards at the gate.
Hey, Elton, hand me the note. I can slip past this crowd more easily by myself, and I'll get it to a guard's attention.
Indeed, here. And ask if they've seen anything suspicious.
So for clarification, Aelia, you would like to try and force your way through the crowd in order to get closer to the gate?
Well, not too forcefully. I'll use my acrobatics to hopefully squeeze through if needed.
Okay, roll an acrobatics check.
Oh, no. A nat 1.
The rest of you see Aelia dart off in the direction of the gate, head still turned, making eye contact with you all instead of where she is running. Unseen in her periphery, a noble wearing fine garb steps out of a nearby tent and directly into Aelia's path. By the time she turns and sees him, she realizes the ground is extremely slippery from the previous day's rains. With tremendous force, Aelia collides with the noble, knocking them both to the ground and into a puddle of mud. A look of pure hatred and disdain paints the man's face when he realizes what has just happened.
You insolent swine! You've soiled my four-piece pleated pantsuit! You've got a tear in my jewel-encrusted pantaloons! You cretin! What impudence! Guards! Guards!
The commotion has obviously attracted the attention from the crowd, and the two armed guards are now approaching, about 100 feet away. You all do your best to calm the nobleman down and explain you are delivering a message of great urgency. The noble continues to complain in a fit of entitled rage and self-importance.
A message of urgency? Do you know who I am? I should see you all hanged for this mockery and abuse.
All right, that's enough. I'm gonna grab this noble by the scruff and hoist him up out of the mud. Partially to assist him, of course, but also to throw my weight around. Maybe intimidate him into shutting up before the guards get any closer.
Okay, roll an intimidation check.
Not too bad. 13.
The noble fails to be intimidated and continues his spoiled tirade.
Well, I'd never! Get your filthy hands off me, you dirty dwarf!
Stop this! Stop this!
A familiar voice approaches from behind. The party recognizes the tabaxi Elcrive exiting the Oak Umbra Lodge. The tall feline urges the fighting to stop.
All right, I drop him back into the mud.
Please, kids, Francis, what is going on?
You stay out of this hairball! These hooligans have slighted me, and as a former officer of the court and second cousin to the captain of the guard, I demand to see these ruffians publicly reprimanded.
No, there were undead. 2 slain couriers. Wait. We have a note.
You don't say.
At this point, the 2 guards from the gate have made their way to the party.
All right. Break it up. Well, well, if it isn't Sir Francis, what seems to be the problem?
Are you joking? Look at me. I'm covered in filth. My pantaloons. And these four are to blame. I want them reprimanded at once, and these two in particular should be hanged for assault.
He says, motioning to both Alia and Clem. Hold on here.
I thought I told you to stay out of this.
Bah, nonsense. I'll gripe the entire thing. All just accident. Misunderstanding. Kids say have note of great urgency. Must be delivered at once.
Is that so? Well then, let me see it.
The party then hands the note to the guard.
Wait, is this true? Crops is under attack? This better not be a hoax. Take this to the king at once.
The other guard then leaves to hand deliver the note.
Well, I'm inclined to believe you, but you should know the law as well as anyone. Assaulting an officer is punishable by death, after all.
Come now, don't be rash. And Alcribe does indeed know laws here in Farkyle. In fact, as new deputy investigator in Simonia, Alcribe personally vouched for kids' innocence.
Surely, Inspector, you don't expect this slighting against Sir Francis to go unpunished, do you?
Alcrive pauses for a moment, then looks back at the party with a smirk. Certainly not. Alcrive think one afternoon in stocks would be appropriate.
Fine! But by law, vouching for them implies that you should share their punishment.
Ah, indeed. Don't worry, kids. Afternoon in stocks can build character. Let's go.